And Dubray writes, my question is about the new movie Before We Go, directed by and starring Chris Evans. I was wondering what your thoughts were about the movie and if you thought Chris Evans might be able to make the transition from actor to actor/director and become the next Affleck or Eastwood. Again, thanks for all you do.
That's a big question. It's like your kid picking up a basketball for the first time saying, can he be the next LeBron or Michael Jordan?
No, you can't. Put it down. Go inside.
No, you can't. Go play piano.
0.5%.
I mean, we haven't seen a film directed by Chris Evans yet. And I watched the trailer. And look, it's really, really difficult to tell what kind of a job did this director do on this film based on a trailer. You can get a sense of the story and if the movie's going to be interesting. I'm going to be brutally honest. You all know I'm a huge Chris Evans fan. I've talked about the guy a lot. I've talked with the guy a lot. I think he's great, and I'm a big fan. The movie feels like a paint-by-numbers indie film to me. I watched the trailer, and it just feels like a paint-by-numbers 22-year-old college student picking up his buddy's Canon 7D and going out and shooting a little story he wrote over the weekend. Nothing about the trailer stood out to me as being exceptional in any way. It's going to be one of these VOD release movies. But that's kind of irrelevant. I mean, you got to see the movie to really see what did he do as a director in letting the narrative flow and all that kind of stuff. So that we have to wait and see. But since you're asking me the question and all I have to go on is the trailer right now, I would say Chris Evans is not the next Ben Affleck or Clint Eastwood. I don't know, Mark.
Well, clearly you've never met a girl and fallen in love on the subway, then followed her around for the rest of the night and been accused of maybe stalking her a little bit. This movie feels like a fun rom-com to me. It feels like a Serendipity. Remember that with John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale? Yeah. So, and I like fun rom-coms like that. The fact that Chris Evans is directing it, it does make sense in a weird way because it's such a departure from what we know Chris Evans to be already. I'm not going to say the guy's going to be a great director. Like John said, you can put together a good trailer for just about anything. The last Airbender trailer was phenomenal.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm not going to say he's going to be a great director yet, but I think that that him starting out with a small VOD release like this, it shows promise. He's not taking on this huge project and saying, no, I can direct this. He's learning the steps. He's learning the beats of how to be a director. So even though I don't know if this movie's going to be any good, I think it will be. He's going about it the right way.
And you know what? Thank you, because I think I need to kind of clarify something that I said because you raised an excellent point. By me bringing up the fact that it's a VOD release is not in any ways a bad thing at all. I think that is the way you start as a new director, start with smaller films, VOD films like that. I was just saying the trailer itself didn't impress me, but the fact that it's a VOD should not be considered a bad thing at all.
Also realize he has a lot going on right now.
Yes, he does.
So to take that small film is smart. It goes back to the Anton Fuqua Southpaw conversation before. Yeah, it does look paint by the numbers, but and you also brought up in that same point that it's a matter of what he does as a director, and he's directing himself, which could be a daunting task, but it could also be like, I know that I can do that and direct myself and my co-stars here to make this particular story that I want to tell work, and maybe it will feel a little different because of the performances that we bring into it, but we won't know that until we see the film. Right. Now, another thing going on, I'm glad he didn't go after an epic film for directing, and I don't know if it was necessarily a debut, but I just watched a Water Diviner recently with Russell Crowe, who directed that too. Thought the performance was really good, but the directing was not good at all. I thought it was like overuse of slow motion, and it was just kind of messy as a directing piece. So, and that's Russell Crowe. So you could say if someone had brought that question in right away, it's Russell Crowe. So do you think he could be Eastwood or Affleck? We don't know, because that same question had that brought up about Affleck. Could he bring the same Eastwood? The Phantom or Phantoms? I don't know. Let's see that.
You were the bombing Phantom.
Yeah, but the fact that what he's done, we won't know until we see like 2 or 3 pieces before we know what he can do, and we don't know if he wants to do that. Maybe this is just one particular piece.
He should start animating 2D films. Bring him back into the.
His accent, though, he did pull out a lot of that New York accent that he did in the first Captain America. You heard it.
Yes, you heard it there.
It sounded like him a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that. I'm not from New York. I don't know.
Sleep.